Hey guys, welcome to LG Overdrive. This is your season 26 AHL Media. Uh, with you guys today, we got our media host. We got Vadi from the San Diego Gulls,
What up, guys?
and you have the two co-hosts. First off, we got from Ontario. We have WristAlign,
How's it going, everybody?
and then you got myself, the young buck from Springfield, ex media member, also ex band person in LG. I'm back for media this season as well. So the way we're going to do it this season is, especially for today, since it's our first show of the season, welcome back to the AHL media, and congrats on being in the AHL, first of all. We're going to do a rundown. We have three segments today. The first segment is going to be with WristAlign, and he's going to have a lineup of the week, breaking down one left wing, one center, one right wing, one lefty, one right D, and a goalie of the week. So he's going to do a little in-depth talk about that. Then we're going to go back to me. I have our surprises and disappointments for week one, and based off the standings and their teams and how it's running down so far. And then we're going to finally send it over to Vadi to end the show. It's going to be a quick show today, and he's going to do a top three and a bottom three power rankings so far after week one. So to start it off, we're going to send it right over to WristAlign, and he's going to do his lineup of the week.
Alrighty, we're starting off the top lineup here with the right wings. Not a huge surprise here, coming in with Coop as my top pick for the week at right wing from Manitoba. He ended up finishing the week 3-0 with 14 points. Ended up getting 7 goals, 7 assists, evening it out there with a plus 11. He had no penalties, actually, so that's real good. There's a couple people on this list that are getting up in the double digits for penalties already, so not the greatest there. And we're going to head to the center real quick here. This is actually a big surprise for me. Gabella hitting up the top list for centers. Had to throw him in here for sure. He had 12 goals, 6 assists, getting up there at 18 points. And actually his team had 33 goals against this week. So I believe, unless that's not right, I'm not really sure, to be honest. That's a little high. But well, that's actually giveaways. My apologies.
Right. Oh, yeah, I was going to say 25 against on Hershey.
Oh, okay, so it was pretty close with that stat being wrong, but it was 25. Thank you there. Gabella getting plus 13 and 25 shots on goal for that.
Again, that's some solid stats.
Yeah, definitely a surprise there, though. Going from last season with him on, I believe he was on San Antonio.
Yep.
All right, next going into the centers, we have Neil. I know Neil is a fellow teammate of Vadi. Neil ended up going 3-0 this week with a 14 points, 8 goals, 6 assists, and a plus 12. He had 13 shots on goal. A lot less shots than Gabella there, putting up some good points. 6 penalty minutes and 9 giveaways there. Going next into left defenseman, we're going to start off here with Jim Got It Xbox. I did play with him, I believe, last season, a couple games. He was on Ontario, recently traded to Stockton, I believe. Me and him were in the same trade together. He finished the week with 8 points, 8 assists there, no goals, with a plus 5 and shot percentage of 18%, or actually 0%. I'm not really sure how that works out, but maybe he missed the net every time. Next, going into the right D, we got E-People going 3-0 this week as well with Hartford. He had 7 points, 2 goals, 5 assists, and a plus 0. Actually, he's finished even at 0 with 8 shots on goal and 22 giveaways. That's pretty good for the defenseman there. And lastly, getting into the segment for here is the goalies. No surprise here. We're going to start off with Johansson. He went at 6-0 this season. Very, very good start for him on the Ice Caps. 90.6 save percentage, 85 shots, and a 1.33 goals against average. Very amazing stats coming out of him week one. And we're going to go ahead and throw it over to Young Buck here for the next segment.
Yeah, so what we're going to do, like I said, I have surprises and disappointments. So I'm picking up one team from each division. And so I say one surprise from that division. Then I'll say the disappointment right afterwards. So that way it's a little bit of a flow for the divisions. And we're going to start off with the Eastern Atlantic Division, which happens to be my division. My surprise is the first place team, Bridgeport Sound Tigers, led by Lang X15 and DeKaiser L65L. Honestly, we all know Lang has a bad reputation in the AHL for just being brutal as a GM and teams going downhill. But he somehow managed to get his team to go 6-3, which is for 12 points. Again, first in the Eastern Atlantic. Himself, though, Lang did play, and he went 2-1 with 3 points and a -4. But his team was also led offensively by Stormer 200, 3-0, 4 goals, 4 assists, 8 points, and a +8. Moving on to the disappointment for the same division, the Eastern Atlantic, we have the Lehigh Valley Phantoms, 4-5, led by Horvat LL53LL and the Danimal. I have a couple friends on this team actually, and they told me that the only reason why they're struggling so far is the fact that their defense is absolutely atrocious, and that's what the main problem is. They do have a lot of players on the team that have a lot of chemistry, like known as like Genetic. They have Sympalix. They have a strong goalie and Shut the Gate. Lorenzo X24, Moniz, Hungry Ducks. A lot of top like AHL players that could be doing some like strong effects. Like Shut the Gates played 5 games. He's got 2 wins, 3 losses. He's got a 2.61 GA and a 79.4 save percentage. So even with those stats, like they're below 500. So it's kind of disappointing to see that that is such a strong team in Lehigh Valley. Maybe they can pick up their defense for week 2. Moving on to the Eastern North Division, my surprise is the Syracuse Crunch. They went 7-2 this week for 14 points, led by Stoner X95 and Mitchie Marnes, which is also known as Jerome, and Landeskog. This team was led offensively by M. Farah 32, who I've never heard of, and Nelson 26. They both went 3-0 with 12 points each, with 6 goals, 6 assists, and a +3s. So I guess they play on a line together. A lot of their players are 3-0 or 2-1. Goaltending has been solid this week. We got Rocky Star going 3-1 with a 1.5 goals against average and an 85.7 save percentage. And Diabolic Viper went 3-0 with a 2.1 goals against average and 79.4 save percentage. And then my disappointment for the division would be Utica Comets. They went 4-4-1, led by Nightingale 8, also known as Thornton, AGM of Loshi, and Patan 19. Patan led the team in points with 10 points, 3 goals, 7 assists, +3. Again, they have Tatar as their goalie, a very strong goalie who had a very off week. 1 win, 4 losses, 4.73 goals against average, 63.1 save percentage. Look for him to bounce back. I have a feeling that Tatar was one of the big reasons on Utica not doing so well this week. Moving on to the Western Central Division, another big surprise for me was the Iowa Wild. Iowa went 6-3 for 12 points. They're in a 3-way tie for second in the Western Central. Their GM is X Crosby X87, and their AGM would be Hope's Downfall. This team is led offensively so far by Riven 2513, who somehow managed to go 1-2, but he had 11 points and a -4. But looking through their team, a lot of their players on one line went minus, but are leading the team in points. So despite maybe scoring a lot of goals, they're not producing, and they're also probably allowing a lot of goals, or they're scoring a lot of power play goals. I don't know. Goaltending on that team looks like Kiltarded is the starter. He went 4-2 with a 3.48 goals against average and a 71.8 save percentage. Backup of Mofer went 2-1 with a 2.34 goals against and a 77.4 save percentage. My disappointment for the Western Central Division is the Grand Rapids Griffins, led by Mr. Howie Do himself and Captain Stasio and Chosen One. We all thought Grand Rapids had a great team going off the season, starting off 2-0, finishing 2-7 in the week, 7-game losing streak. Their goaltending was atrocious this week. Dazed went 0-3 with a 5 goals against average, a 63 save percentage. Sanctify went 2-4 with a 3 goals against average and a 74 save percentage. Not much offense from the team. They had Kopi with 8 points, and Spadzio had 7 goals, 1 assist. So hopefully Howie knows he can make some big trades here that's coming up and turn his team around after losing 7 straight. Going off into the Western Pacific for my final two teams. My surprise would be Vadi's team, uh, San Diego, 7-2 this week. He has a couple buddies of mine on that team, including Prodigy X8, Matt, and as previously mentioned, X Neil X19X. Um, Neil Prodigy lead the team with 14 points, both 8 goals, 6 assists, and Prodigy has plus 13. Matt has a plus 13, and Dudes, it's Devin has also got a plus 13 with Neil having a plus 12. Goaltending so far has been solid with Lanes going 4-0 with a 2.95 goals against and a 71 save percentage. Brown XX31 with 3-2 with a 3.5 goals against and a 70 save percentage. So San Diego rocking it so far in the Western Pacific, and disappointment would definitely have to go to Stockton going 2-6-1 this week. AGMs of big time, having their big French line going 0-2-1 with minus 10, minus 11. That's a huge setback to them. I know Nightmare had a lot of tricks up his sleeve, and he actually traded WristAlign this week over to Ontario. So Nightmare said this was a bad week for him. It was a nightmare of a week. 1-5 at the 3.75 goals against and a 71 save percentage. So hopefully Nightmare can clean his team up and get out of the bottom. I'm sure he will, but definitely a disappointment. Now we're going to flip it over to Vadi for his top three, bottom three power rankings.
All right, so for the top 3 teams of the league this week, number 1 definitely has to go to 8-1 St. John's Ice Caps, led by El Diablo L, formerly Bishop, and Rain L87L. 8-1, great week for them. They had a great goals for and against differential in 35 against 15. Their goaltending led by Johansson definitely stepped up. He went 6-0 with a 1.33 and a 90.6, as previously mentioned by WristAlign. The line that seems to be killing it for them currently is their second AGM, Legend of Capone, who has 11 points in 3 games and a plus 8, and L16L Marner with 10 points and a plus 7. Their defense is led by B Stubbard and the AGM himself, El Diablo L, both with 3 points and a plus 7. My second team and the top 3 is the Chicago Wolves. No surprise there. Pure Fission is the GM, and the AGM is I'm Just a Squid. The points leaders on their team are Gimme a Brewski with 3 games played and 15 points and a plus 8. Fishin himself with 14 points, and Antonucci with 12 points and a plus 17.
Holy
Their
shit.
defense led, yeah, it's fucking crazy. Their goal differential, speaking of this team, is 55 goals for and 27 against. Their defense is led by Not You with a bunch of numbers at the end. I'm not saying that. With 6 points, and those are 6 assists and a whopping plus 16, and Smokelessly with only 2 games played and 6 points plus 8. My third team is the Syracuse Crunch, as previously mentioned by Young Buck. As a surprise, they are led by the old Chicago Wolves and Stoner X95 and L Landeskog L. Their team is led by M. Farah and Nelson, as previously mentioned, and their goaltending is good, as they're led by L Rocky Star L with a 1.5 goals against and an 85.7 save percentage. These guys have some really low-key pickups. The Uncle Buck took a step down from the NHL after 2 seasons. He's having a rough time, but if he turns it around, this team will be real good and give St. John's a run for his money. The 3 of the power rankings this week. The Third lowest team in the power rankings would be Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins, led by Hilly and Me's Top Cheese. This team is 3-5 and 0 in 1-goal games, and actually has the same goals for and goal against differential as the number one team in the Eastern Atlantic, the Bridgeport Sound Tigers, as they have 29 goals for and 33 against. They have won one of their games by 1 goal and lost every single one of their games except one by 1 goal. They are led by, hold on, Me's Top Cheese with 11 points and a -5, and Big Blaster 14 with 8 points and a -4. Their goaltending has been very subpar lately. Scopes not been doing well as he's only picked up 1 win and has a 3.6 with a 75. And Nate Dogg, who has gotten a 2.5, has been the better of the goalies. The second lowest team in the power rankings is the Albany Devils, led by Ono Ruthless and Tricky L13L. It's the same team that owned Albany last season. They lost 2 of their best players in Crosby and Hope's downfall to the Iowa Wild this season. They are 2-7 with 4 points. Their team has no one with more than 10 points, and their leader is Tricky L13L with 8 points and a -6, and Ono Durrett with 7 points and a -7. Third there is E-Town Kush King with 6 points and a -3, who was strictly ECHL last season. They will definitely need their forwards to pick it up.
I also just want to point out the fact that the only players that are not a minus on the team are their 2 goalies.
Well, AE Big Rig and Loose Change. Yeah, I just realized that. The lowest plus minus on the team next to them is T Chang 3380 with 2 points and a -1. And he's played 3 games. And their next one is Hero X Identity, who's only played 1 game, but did have 4 points. The last team in power rankings this week is the Grand Rapids Griffins, as previously mentioned by Young Buck. This is a team that was led by Howie Dew and Spadzio, and we're a team that seemingly had a great defensive core going into bidding and coming out. But their big guys, Devil's Knight, have gone 0-3 with a -6, and Motown 0-3 as well. Their points leader is Kopi and Spads, and their goaltending has been absolutely horrendous, with Dave's 1933 with a 5 goals against and a 63 save percentage. That looks like CHL. And Sanctify, their drafted player, is actually the better of the goalies, going 2-4 with a 3.7 and a 74 save percentage. All right.
So basically, what we're going to be trying to do this season is get as many shows as we can out. No promises. We also have guest stars like El Diablo might show up every now and then. That is the AGM for St. John's, as previously mentioned. We also might get E-Rice to come on every now and then. He was supposed to be on tonight. Fortunately, we couldn't get the show started on time, so E-Rice couldn't make it tonight. So look forward to seeing him on a couple shows. He's going to be doing E-Rice's observations this season. So knowing him, he'll probably have some funny stuff up his sleeve and some pretty interesting comments, as he's known for. Unfortunately, he won't be doing any more haikus this season. He's told us he has retired from his haikus. So, unfortunately, if you're looking forward for an E-Rice haiku this season, you'll not be getting it. If you've never heard one before, go look at previous AHL season media. They're all over the League Gaming YouTube page, so you can go check out that. Without any further ado,
well, actually, I do have a few more announcements, actually.
Ooh, Vadi, go for it.
So, as previously mentioned, we are going to try to get shows out as much as possible, as long as I know everyone has shit going on. It's life. LG is not life, as different to many people think. I
live for it.
Yeah. I mean, don't we all, right? We're in the AHL. Um, as previously mentioned, we are going to try to get a show out every week. I would say look for them around Saturday or Sunday to actually come out. I'm not going to pull that live shit that typically gets people in trouble. And well, we don't want any band hammers getting swung at us. So understandably so, you ask Young Buck if you have any questions about that.
Shut up.
Also, I know El Diablo L is working on some write-ups.
A
Or
big ass
was,
write up right now.
yeah, very obnoxiously large
In
write-up.
depth.
More than a 30-minute shit write-up. You're probably gonna have to sit down at a computer. I
He's
know
been
I'll
writing
be.
it for like a week now.
Yeah, he showed us a few clips. It's pretty
It's
fucking crazy.
yeah.
Like I said, personally, try to get a show out on Friday, and then it'll actually be uploaded to the site Saturday or Sunday. No promises on that. Shit does come up. Written shit. I mean, I think we're all welcome for people to join in. We can help. We're
Yep.
open to guest ideas. Send us, me, Buck, Bristow, and El Diablo L a message. I mean, we're more than happy to add you as long as you're not going to add bullshit to it. Um, and of course, adhere to the code of conduct rules by LG. Like I said, no band hammers. Other than that, Buck, you got anything else to say?
Yeah, just on the written content. Look forward to seeing every Sundays probably and every Mondays based on my schedule and with school and all that in college. I will be doing a game of the night for the 9:30s and the 10:30s based off what the game of the night is on the LG site, based off whatever lineup it is. Be doing a breakdown of the lineups playing based on their not just their like career this season, like their career in the AHL or just in LG in general. So I'll be doing a full breakdown of who the, like what their like records are, like their plus minus, like takeaways, giveaways, all that. So look forward to that with me. I know Vadi was working on one as well. I think coming up soon,
Yeah,
and
I'm working
Risto
on
as
some
well.
write-ups coming out.
And I know
Um,
Risto is as well. I don't know if you have any in depth on you guys for
I
those.
I know I'm. It's not going to come out this week, so don't expect it this week. I am looking to round up about three other people to do a divisional every team write-up, kind of like what Big started last season. It never really went anywhere after week 2, I don't think, but something a little bit more depth. We do want to cover everybody's team, no matter how shitty you are.
Springfield.
I put Albany there, but we do want to cover everybody's team. I want something for everyone this season. I want to leave a media mark that people want to actually on throughout the rest of the seasons. So, like I said, if you're a player, if you're not a player in the AHL, but you want to be in management or not management, media, anything like that, I mean, message us. We're definitely open. The more the merrier. The easier it is. The less people have to do, and the quicker it gets done. So, yeah.
And Risto, you got anything for media
Yeah.
written content coming up?
Going along with Buck's idea of the game of the night there. Whenever Buck can't make it, I'll do my best to hop on and get the show out the same time around his schedule.
Perfect. Also, leading off of last season, Dan Hutt and I ran the All Star game. I'll probably be doing that again this season. I did get a lot of positive feedback and a lot of negative feedback, so I'm going to try and use a lot of that negative as constructive criticism to work on it so that it's a little better from this season. Because I heard a lot of good things about it, and a lot of players did like it, especially when it was players versus management All Star like team game after and 2 weeks later with Pivot.
Well, I
So
know also it won't be a Black Friday situation in the States this season, so
yeah,
that'll be
exactly.
nice.
That'll be nice too. So look forward to that. That'll be probably week 7 or 8 or 6, 7 or 8, just around trade deadline time again. So without further ado, thanks for listening. We'll see you guys hopefully next week, if not in a couple weeks. Do look on the forums for our content. We will have a lot of written content coming out soon. Hopefully, Bishop's long write up is going to come soon. It is long. Do take your time reading it. He's put a lot of effort into that. Games of
Yeah,
the week. My Sunday one might not come out this Sunday just because I have a lot going on at home. But Monday for sure, like I'll have something out. Risto and Vadi will have something out coming up in the next week as well. So look forward to that. There's a lot of media coming, and as again was previously said by Vadi, don't hesitate to PM us or message us via Xbox or whatever if you're interested or if you have any ideas.
Yeah, even if you have one game, it's your first season in the AHL. Like, we're open to literally anything. The more people that come on to media, the easier it makes everybody else's job. And instead of an hour-long write-up like Bishop's doing right now, you can divvy up to 4 people, put a format out, and it gets out 2 days instead of a week and a half.
Yeah. And if you ever want to guest star on the show, right now it's just the 3 of us. Eat Rice is obviously one of our guest stars, and so is Bishop every now and then. So if you guys ever want to guest star, same thing, PM us. We try and do these shows on Friday nights around 11:30 Eastern time, and then after that we go on, and it'll either be posted Saturday or Sunday after we review it to make sure everything's all clean and good to go. So without further ado, guys, thank you again for listening. This was the LG Overdrive episode 1 for LG AHL season 26, and we will see you guys soon.